Welcome to multiple choice question 4 of the 2007 Mathematical Methods Exam 2. In this video we will be looking at the solution for this question. A reminder that this video is in no way endorsed by VCAA. And now before we move on, I'd just like to point out that the use of the CAS calculator is an efficient way to approach this question, although the question can be solved by hand as well. So for question 4, it says the average rate of change of the function with the rule f of x equals x to the power of 3 minus the square root of x plus 1 between x equals 0 and x equals 3 is. And the really important thing to highlight here is that we're after the average rate of change of the function. And a common error that happens is that people confuse the average rate of a function with the average value of a function. So just make sure in this question we're after the average rate of change. So we have a formula for the average rate of change. It's not in the formula sheet, but you can have it in your notes book. And that is that the average rate of change for a function f is given by f evaluated at the upper value of b minus f evaluated at lower value of a divided by b take a, which is really just a fancy y take y1 over x take x1 expression, where the value of b and a is x is b will be 3 and x is 0 will be a for the way I substitute it in. So that's going to be the same as the function evaluated at 3, subtract away the function evaluated at 0, divided by b take a, which is 3 subtract 0. And that's something we can now use our calculator to evaluate. So on the CAS calculator, we're going to go into the main menu. And now we want to type in the rule for f of x. So that is x to the power of 3, and then it's subtract the square root of x plus 1. And now to make this a little bit more efficient, I'm going to define that. So we're going to highlight all of that and go interactive, and then we go define as f of x and hit OK. So that means I can now set up the fraction, and the first bit is f of 3. And then we subtract away from that f of 0. And then on the bottom line we have 3 subtract 0, and we hit execute, and that will be the value for the average rate of change for this question. And the calculator gives us 26 divided by 3 as the answer to that fraction. So that means that option C is the answer to this question. So from the examiner's report we can quickly see that 71% of students managed to get this question correct. And the one I'd just like to point out is that the 9% of students that got E as their answer may have misused brackets when substituting values in to a longer version of the formula without using their calculator. So that's a really important reason for why we use the calculator, as it's less likely to make those mistakes that we might have if we had have attempted it by hand.